Arjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya
Krishna
Sri Radha Krishna Pada
Krishna Pada Sahagana
Sahagana
Lalita Shri
Lalita
Vishakam
He Krishna Karuna
Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu
Bando Jaganpati
Bando Jagatpate
Gopisha Gopika
Gopika Kanta
Radha Kanta
Radha
Namostu
Kanta Namostute
Tapta
Tata
Kanjana
Kanchana
Gaura
Gaurangi
Radhe
Radhe
Vrindavani
Vrindavaneshwar
Rishabhanu
Vishabhanu Te
Devi
Devi
Pranamami
Pranamami
Hari
Hari
Vanjakalpatarubhyascha
Kalpatarubhyascha
Kripa
Kripa Sindhubhya
Sindhubhya
Evacha
Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Namo Namo
Vaishnavebhyo
Jai Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhara
Gadadhara
Srivasadi
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna, Shashwin. Thank you for reciting the beautiful Manglacharan. Today we have among us Kanchanabja Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat.
Please accept our humble obeisances on behalf of everybody in this group. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we are reading the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and we are on chapter 9. And we've been battling with text 2 since 2 days, and we still haven't finished because there were lots and lots of discussions.
Okay.
So I really apologize that I had to change the text in the morning today.
That's okay.
But I thought it was so important, and it's better when we have mentors like you who would help us with that. So, Prabhuji, we have done the Manglacharan. I just hand over to you.
Okay,
Hare
thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you for inviting me. I feel very honored again to be with all of you. I feel very happy. I have a soft spot for Kenya in my heart, so it's always good to connect with the devotees in Kenya. So thank you for inviting me. Sashwin, I thought that was really, really. Is Sashwin? How old are you? How old are you?
6 years old.
6.
When we started this, he was 5 years old. So last year, we started in March. It's 1 year since we've been doing this, and he's been attending every day. He and me are religiously there.
Wow.
Not been there once or twice, but he's always been there.
Sashwin, you chant the prayers so nicely, so nicely. It sounded like you're coming from the Gurukul. It felt like a spiritual world listening to you chant the Mangalacharan prayers. Thank you so much. It really has enlivened my heart listening to the way you chanted the prayers. It's very, very inspiring. I have a 7-year-old daughter. She doesn't know how to do these prayers, but just seeing you is inspiring me that I need to teach her very, very soon. So thank you. It's really nice of you to chant like that. Thank you. It's so inspiring. So inspiring.
We have a Sunday school as well in from Eldoret, where Shashwin is one of the attendees. I run that as well. So
brilliant.
I'd like your daughter to associate with us, learn things from her as well.
She needs to learn from all of you. And
I learn my things from the children, so that's why I would like her to join us.
Jay, thank you so much. Jay. So I feel so happy to be with you. I feel so inspired by Sashwin. I feel so inspired. Wow. I'm so it's breathtaking actually to hear such nice chanting at such a young age. Really nice. So chapter 9, text number 2. So I'll just read the text and the translation, and then maybe Mataji, you can just direct me as to where you've reached in the purport exactly. So I'll just quickly read the text. Would you like to follow after I do the Sanskrit?
Yes.
Okay. Rajavidya Rajaguyam
Rajavedya Rajagunyam
Pavitram Edamuttamam
Pavitram
idam uttamam
Prityaksha Vagamam Dharmam
yatasasavagamam dharmyam
Dharmyam
Susukam Kartam Avyayam.
Sukam Kartum Avyayam.
Okay. So shall I go straight for the translation or word for word? Translation?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting, and it is joyfully performed. Please repeat after me. This knowledge is the king of education,
This knowledge is the king of education,
the most secret of all secrets.
the most secrets of all
The
secrets.
most secret of all secrets.
It is the purest knowledge,
It
It
is
is the purest
knowledge,
and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization,
and because it gives direct perception
gives direct
by real,
perception of the self-realization.
it is the perfection of religion.
it
It
is
is the perfection of religion.
It is everlasting,
it
It
is
is everlasting
lasting
and it is joyfully performed.
and
and it is
and it is joyfully performed.
Thank you very much. Okay, so tell me, Kirtika Mataji, in the purport where you reached exactly, and then it's a very long purport, so it's let's see what we can reach to today.
So diligently we did till Pavitram Uttamam. So yesterday we looked at the meaning of tamas, and then we did the next paragraphs very fast. Prabhuji, if you are able to take us from Uttapam, then so in the Vedanta Sutra 3.2.26.
Okay, yeah. So I go from there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So how you been doing? Have you been doing? Has the speakers been like reading and then doing a bit of speaking and then reading and doing a bit of speaking like that? Is that
Yes, yes, Prabhuji, that's the format. But
okay?
you can choose any. I mean, if you are just going directly to speaking, we don't mind it as well because it's up to you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll do that because the purport is very long. And I don't want to, what I'm scared of doing is maybe I'll leave you again halfway and you won't
Yeah.
finish the text. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just speak a few things and relating to what's in the purport anyway. And then hopefully everything will be covered and you'll get an overall picture of text 9.2. Is that okay?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. We would
Okay,
prefer that.
wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Okay, so chapter 9. If I could just ask everyone to go on mute while I'm speaking, just so there's no echo, and then feel free to just switch it back on whenever I ask any questions. And if you can put your video on, it'll be really nice. I'm glad to see Kirtika Mataji, Sashwin, and Sashwin's father, Avinash Prabhu, Hare Krishna. And yeah, if any of you if you're in a situation where you can switch on the video, it would be very nice. But I also understand if you're driving or cooking or something, it might be difficult. So don't worry if you cannot. So chapter 9, text number 2. So what's going on here? If we just think about the context of the Gita, Krishna in chapter 8 was speaking a lot about death. And basically he was comparing Ashtanga Yoga to Bhakti Yoga, and ended chapter 8 basically saying that, look, devotional service is much easier, much better for us. So devotional service is the thing to do. Hey, Ravi, Hare Krishna. I remember you. Hare Krishna, Kruti, Mataji. Devotional service is the means for perfection. This is what we got at the end of chapter 8. And what Krishna starts talking about in chapter 9, he starts saying that this knowledge is the perfection of knowledge. This knowledge, and like he says here, Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam, this knowledge is the king of education. Raja Guyam, it is the secret of all secrets. Now, why is this? Why is this the secret of all secrets? Have we discussed this already? Why it's the secret of all secrets?
Yes, Prabhuji, but
Yeah.
we can revise. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So why is this the biggest secret? In one sense, we're saying Rajavidya, Rajaguyam, this is a secret. It's the king of knowledge and it's a big secret. Now, why is it a secret? We can say this is not a secret. If it was a secret, I mean, if you define secret, okay, I'm going to ask some of you. Kruti, can you tell me what is a secret? If I said to you, if I want you to define a secret, what is a secret?
Something not many know.
Yeah, thank you. So secret is something that not many people know. So in one sense, Krishna is saying, Rajavidya, Rajaguyam, that this is a secret. This king of this most confidential knowledge is a big secret. But how is it a secret if anyone can read this? Millions and millions of copies of the Gita have been sold, have been distributed. So millions and millions of people have read this knowledge. So how is it a secret? Can anyone have a guess, a thought, or maybe remember from the previous sessions you've had? Why is this a secret if everyone's read it? So many people have read it. How is it a secret? Yes, Vishaka Mataji?
I think it's a secret because though everybody reads it, not many people understand the science of self-realization.
Very nice.
That's why it's a secret.
Very nice. Thank you. So not, even though anyone can read it, it's not easy to understand. Excellent. Thank you. Bina Mataji, you were going to say something?
Yeah. So I asked this question on Friday.
Okay.
I can't remember the Prabhu's name. I said, why is it so confidential? And he answered that because if we completely give ourselves to Krishna, then he becomes captured by his devotee. And so that's why it's more, the most confidential knowledge. That's how he explained it.
Very nice. Very nice. So yeah, if we give ourselves to Krishna, Krishna becomes captured. Excellent. So yeah, thank you so much, Vishaka Mataji, and thank you, Bina Mataji. Very nice answers. This is a secret, as Vishaka Mataji said, because not everyone understands it. As Bina Mataji says, also it's a secret because we have to give ourselves to Krishna. That's why it's a secret. And Krishna answers this actually in the very next line. On the very next lines, he says, Pavitram idamuttamam, it's the purest knowledge. Okay, why is it the purest knowledge? Why is it the secret of all secrets? Pratyaksha vagamam dharmyam. So what's going on? Pratyaksha vagamam dharmyam. This religion, this principle of religion is understood by pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means, the word for word says, by direct experience. This is the key to text 9.2. Rajavidya Rajaguyam Pavitram Idamuttamam. Yes, this is the king of knowledge. This is the secret of all secrets. Yes, it's the purest knowledge. But the thing is, it's Pratyaksha Vagamam. This is only understood because of direct experience. That's why it's a secret. Krishna consciousness is experienced. It's not theoretical knowledge. The secret is not the theory. The secret is the experience. Now, what do we mean by the experience? Okay, I have a question. I'd like someone to answer, someone who hasn't answered anything so far today. Can someone tell me their own experience of Krishna consciousness that is giving them some taste, the reason why you're still coming to these sessions? What's the reason you're chanting Hare Krishna? What's the reason you are attending this class on a Wednesday night at, what is the time over there? 8 o'clock, 8:15. You could be doing so many things. You could be out partying somewhere, but you're here on Zoom talking about Krishna. Why? Tell me. Can anyone give me their personal experience?
I think I could.
Yes, please, Prahlad.
The reason why I like this group and attending this class is because I personally feel more at home, and I feel like I understand more than any other class. You know, when we come together and give our own personal views or point of views on a specific text. So you get these many different understandings. Like some people will have more knowledge than you. So you gain knowledge while at the same time giving your own knowledge. So it's sort of like a community, like sort of like the spiritual version of Stack Overflow, you know?
Very nice. Very nice. So you're getting the sense of community, you're getting to express yourself, and you're also getting to hear from others. So you're doing the Shravanam, you're getting to hear from others. You're doing the Kirtanam, you're getting to express yourself. So what you're doing is you're practicing devotional service. And Prahlad, can I ask you, how do you feel when you do this Shravanam and Kirtanam in the association of devotees? How does it feel?
Well, the overall environment is just positive, you know, because you get these positive vibes. Everyone just accepts you, and you know, they accept whatever you say, and they also correct you in a good way.
So you're
Yeah,
getting
so
a
the
positive
overall,
vibe. Tell me what this positive vibe feels like. Express that to me a bit more so I understand. How does it feel when you have this positive vibe? What does it feel like?
okay, well, it feels sort of different. Like, you know, it's like a feeling that you've never felt before when you enter the
Yes,
community. And
yes. Prahlad, you've hit the nail on the head. Pratyaksha vagamam dharmyam. Pratyaksha means by direct experience. And what you've just explained, Prahlad, is your experience. You're getting positive vibes. You're feeling like you've never felt before. You've not had this feeling anywhere before. This is why it is Rajavidya Rajaguyam. This is why this king of knowledge is the secret of all secrets, because you're experiencing it. And only you know how that feels. I don't know how you feel. Kritika Mataji doesn't know how you feel. Avinash Prabhu doesn't know how you feel. Saswin doesn't know how you feel. None of us know how you feel, Prahlad. But Prahlad, the secret is you know how you feel. And my secret is I know how I feel. Kruti knows how she feels. Ravi knows how he feels. Beena Mataji knows how she feels. You all know how you feel. Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam. All of us are experiencing Krishna. And that's the biggest secret. You can't share this because you've got to experience it for yourself. We can tell people, but they've got to experience the joy of Shravanam and Kirtanam and Shmaranam, the joy of hearing about Krishna, the joy of speaking about Krishna, the joy of remembering of Krishna. And how much joy do you get? Well, what does Krishna say? Susukam kartamavyayam. He's saying it is everlasting joy. It is joy that we can experience all the time. Thank you so much, Prahlad, for sharing your pratyaksha. Pratyaksha Bhagavam Dharmyam. This is so important. Our direct experience of Krishna consciousness is actually what is keeping us in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Mansi Ganga Mataji. So our direct perception of Krishna consciousness, our direct perception of Krishna is what's keeping us here. And this is the biggest secret. This is the biggest secret in our spiritual life. So yes, we are distributing thousands and millions of Bhagavad Gitas around the world. And like you were saying, Beena Mataji, Vishaka Mataji, all you're saying that we have to give our heart to Krishna. We have to capture Krishna to actually experience this. People won't understand just by reading. Just like if I want to become a doctor, I can't just read a medical book. I can't just read it. I've got to go to medical school. I've got to experience what it's like to treat a body, and then I will experience what it means to be a doctor. You know, I qualified as an accountant. I have to do 3 years of exams, but that's not enough. They say to get your professional qualification, you need 36 months, 3 years of experience. You need 3 years of experience plus passing the exams, then you can be called an accountant. Right now, I'm training to be a therapist, a counselor. So this is something I'm doing. And in this, again, I'm doing exams, but I am training at the same time. So all the time, and my training is experience. I have to see clients, I'll have to speak with them, I'll have to learn how to do counseling for them. And this again, they're not giving me the qualification until I gain the experience. So everything is about experience. When you're looking for a job, what's the first thing they ask you? More than your grades, what do they want?
Experience.
Experience. How many years? Where have you worked before? What's your CV? How much experience do you have? And there are people in the professional world that don't do any exams, but they've made it to the top because they got experience. So the thing about Krishna consciousness, it shouldn't be any different. We can't learn the Bhagavad Gita, or we can't realize the Bhagavad Gita just by reading. We have to experience the Bhagavad Gita. We have to transform ourselves through the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. And by transforming ourselves and gaining this experience of Krishna, this is the secret of all secrets. This is the Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam. This is the secret. We can tell everyone the secret, but they've got to experience the secret for themselves. We are experiencing it to higher or lesser degrees. All of us are experiencing Krishna. The more we are attentive to our Krishna conscious practice, the more we are attentive to our sadhana, the more we will experience Krishna. Now, why is it that our sadhana is so important? Well, the reason our sadhana is so important, actually, first, let's think about the definition of sadhana. Somebody tell me, when I say the word sadhana, what does it mean to you? Anyone? Maybe someone who hasn't said anything yet?
Devotional service.
Devotional service. Thank you, Bina Mataji. Yeah, devotional service. So our sadhana is our devotional service. Very good. Like we just said, devotional service is things like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. So yes, our hearing is sadhana. Our chanting is sadhana. Anyone else want to give any definition of sadhana? And what does it mean to you? Sadhana, when we say the word sadhana, it can mean different things to different people. It's okay to have something different. Or something same. It's okay.
I can
Akruti?
say. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Connection with Krishna.
Lovely, beautiful. Our sadhana is our connection to Krishna. It's devotional service, and yes, through devotional service, we connect to Krishna. Sometimes we call sadhana our spiritual practice, our practice. What's my daily practice, my daily routine of Krishna consciousness? Did I chant my 16 rounds? Did I read for 30 minutes Srila Prabhupada's books? Did I learn any shlokas? Did I associate with devotees? Did I attend the ISKCON Eldoret Zoom at 8 p.m.? We have different things that is part of our sadhana. If we break the word down, Sat, Dhana. Sat means eternal, and Dhana means our wealth. So our sadhana is our eternal wealth. This is the wealth we are looking for. You know, we're running around this material world looking for wealth, wanting to increase our wealth. And generally, when we say the word wealth, we just think of money, isn't it? We think of money and assets. How many properties do I have? How much money is in my bank account? We think of this as being our wealth. But this is our temporary wealth. This is our temporary wealth. Why is it our temporary wealth? Because you're either going to spend it and it will go, or you're going to leave it to your children and you will go. But one of them is going to happen. It's temporary. So sadhana, satdana, our eternal wealth, is not temporary. Why is it not temporary? Why is it eternal? What does that mean? That our wealth, through our practice of spirituality, through our practice of Krishna consciousness, is eternal. Why is it eternal?
Divyesh Prabhuji has raised his hand.
Sure. Divyesh Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. In my opinion, it's eternal because Lord Krishna himself has promised us and said that your bhakti will never go away. Wherever you've left it, you'll always come back and start. So the graph is always upwards exponentially.
Excellent. Thank you, Divyesh Prabhu. Yes,
Hare
spot
Krishna.
on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Nehabikam rasusti pratyavaya nuvidyate swapam apyasya dharmasya treyate mahato bhayat. That in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution. In this endeavor there is no loss or diminution. So this is Bhagavad Gita text, chapter 2, text 40. So here Krishna is saying that there's no loss. Whatever you do, there is no loss. And like Divyesh Prabhu says, we carry on our bhakti where we left it. We were discussing last week also that life, that bhakti is not part of our life. Life is part of our bhakti. We were discussing last week. So this is the thing, that actually our spiritual life, our sadhana, is our eternal wealth. And whatever we invest, we are going to get huge return. Huge return. Even if you want to look at it like an investment, this is how many people gain wealth. They invest in something and they get something in return. If we invest in a relationship with Krishna, the returns are exponential. Like you said, Divyesh Prabhu, it comes back 100 times. The investment comes back 100 times, if you like. The return is 100-fold, maybe more. Actually, how do we know it's more? Why? How can we say this so boldly? Because if we think about it, if we really think about all the mercy we're getting, the association of devotees, the chanting, the reading, the taste for Krishna consciousness, actually, this taste, param dishva nivartante, this higher taste we get from Krishna consciousness, that is actually giving us the strength to give up our lower nature. It's giving us the strength to give up bad habits. It gives us the strength. Where does this strength come from? It doesn't just come from nowhere. It doesn't just come from ourselves. Krishna's giving us all this strength. And because he's giving us all this strength, what's happening to our lives? Susukam kartum avyayam. What does he say here? He says it's everlasting and joyfully performed. We're getting this pratyaksha, this experience we're getting is everlasting. It's joyfully performed. So actually what's happening is our spiritual practice stays with us life after life, and even in this life, we're happy, isn't it? Something my Guru Maharaj used to always speak about, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami, one thing he used to always say in classes, time after time I heard classes, and one thing he'd say is, who is happier now that they've come to Krishna consciousness? Is your life happy? And everyone would raise their hands. If I asked you the same question, are you happy that are you a happier person overall in your life because you're practicing Krishna consciousness, or were you happier before? Mansi Ganga Mataji, I think you've eternally been Krishna conscious. Thank you. Yes, we are happier. We are happier now. We are happier. So this is the proof. This is the secret. We're happy. Aren't we? We're happy. And sometimes we might not be happy. You know, in life, sometimes, even within Krishna consciousness, even in our spiritual life, we might not be happy. But one thing we know is that we're in a much better situation than if we were not in Krishna consciousness. Imagine how bad things would have been if we were not practicing Krishna consciousness. Even in the bad times, you know, the bad times are not as bad as they would have been had we not got the association of devotees and not been involved in Krishna consciousness. This is the secret. The secret is we are stronger. we're physically, we're mentally stronger, we're emotionally stronger. We are stronger because of our love that we're trying to connect to Krishna with. This is what conquers Krishna. Bina Mataji, you were saying earlier about capturing Krishna. This is done, how do we capture Krishna? It's only through love. Krishna wants our love. So here in the purport where it's discussing Narad Muni, what did he do? He got association of devotees. And by getting association of devotees, how did he associate with devotees? He served them. He served the devotees, took their remnants. And sometimes we see this and think, oh, but how will I serve devotees? How will I take their remnants? Now we're online. Actually, there's a secret here. It's a really good secret. It's a lot of secrets today, isn't it? The secret is to actually advance in our Krishna consciousness is to make devotees happy. If we make devotees happy, then what happens is that devotee, so for example, let's an advanced devotee especially, the advanced devotee, you make an advanced devotee happy, that advanced devotee will think, oh, Sashwin is such a nice boy, Kruti is such a nice girl. They might think like this. Kirtika Mataji is so nice. The devotee will think like this. When the devotee thinks like this, Krishna in your heart will start giving you pratyaksha vagamam dharmyam, starts giving you this direct experience. This, what was Prahlad saying? It's a feeling we cannot describe. It's such a positive feeling, it's hard to describe it. How does he do? Because the devotee is happy with you. The devotee is happy, so the devotee is directly connected to Krishna. So the devotee is connected to Krishna. So then what happens? The devotee, let's say a devotee was happy with me. So the devotee is happy with me. Now Krishna is going to be like, oh, you made my devotee so happy. Oh, you can have some more experience. You can have more knowledge. Where will it come? In the heart. All of this comes in the heart. This is how it's Rajavidya, Rajaguyam. It's a total secret. We can't explain this to someone on the street. It's something they have to experience. It's a big secret. But we're here. We're in the house of secrets. We're in ISKCON, where all these secrets of Krishna consciousness can be revealed to us. How will they be revealed? Well, Srila Prabhupada has revealed everything in his books. So if we read the books, study the books, discuss the books, and do what it says in the books, then transformation is guaranteed. How do we know? Because we've already transformed so much. We've already transformed so much. I never thought 20 years ago I would give up alcohol. I was telling you last week that I was going to nightclubs. I was going temple for evening arati, straight to a nightclub afterwards. I never thought I would give that up. But how do we give these things up? We give these things up because we get a better experience. We get a higher experience and think, actually, I don't need this anymore. This is the secret. It's hard to explain it to someone because they need to also experience. So what do we try and do? We try and give others the experience of Krishna. So when we're going on prasadam distribution, what are we doing? We're giving them an experience of Krishna. When we go for Harinam and letting other people hear the holy name, what are we doing? We're giving them the experience of Krishna. When we try and bring others to come to this Zoom, what are we doing? We're trying to say to them, experience Krishna. When we tell someone to chant, what are we telling them to do? We're telling them experience Krishna. And then when they experience Krishna, what is happening? The secret is slowly becoming more and more revealed. And the thing about this secret is that it's eternally expanding. Why is it expanding? Because Krishna is unlimited. And because Krishna is unlimited, there's no limit to the secret. There's no limit to the bliss coming from the secret. There's no limit to that. So what we do is we just try and connect with Krishna more and more every day. Try and bring others to connect to Krishna more and more every day. And every day we will experience more and more and more. Like we already have. We already have experienced. Sometimes we are not aware of what we're experiencing. And this is something we also spoke about last week, because maybe we're not observing ourselves. But if we just take a pause, and by pausing and seeing what's happening to our own life, we will see that actually, wow, I am experiencing something. I am experiencing Krishna. Even if it's a small thing that happened, I experienced Krishna today in some way. So this is our opportunity to, experience the secret. This is what this text is saying. Pratyaksha vagamam dharmyam. Experience this by direct self-perception. Experience it for yourself. That's what Krishna wants us to do. Experience this for yourself. Something else in the purport is Krishna. So the Prabhupada then explains, so yes, Narada Muni, how he got this direct association. We get this direct association. When we please the devotees, then we get, Krishna becomes happy with us. The other thing that then Prabhupada speaks about is dharmyam, the path of religion. And there's lots of things like there's Vedic study. There's Vedic study. So do we need to study everything in the Vedas? I mean, we don't have time. We don't have time to study everything in the Vedas. The Vedas are so huge. So what should we do? What should we do? If we can't study everything in the Vedas, what can we do? What does Krishna say? Yatan ata. How does it go? It's chapter 2, text 50 something. Yata artha udapane. Yata yavan artha udapane. Like the small water, the small let me just get the text, actually be easier. Yavan ata. I've just forgotten the text. It's just in text 2. I just want to show it to you quickly. 2.40 something. Yeah. So here Krishna says about the Vedic study. I just want to get the text. 1 second. Anyway, I can't find it right now. But ultimately, what Krishna says is that we need to know the purpose behind the Vedic study. So just like small water, anything in a small well of water is fulfilled by a big reservoir of water. Similarly, everything, Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu, everything in the Vedic study is Brahmanasya Vijanitaha. Everything is realized from the Vedic study through realizing the person behind the Vedic study. So what Krishna says when he's talking about dharmyam, the perfection of religion, is we don't need to get involved with every last bit of the Vedic study because there's no time. This human birth, this one birth is not enough. So what do? We go to the essence of the Vedic study. And the essence of the Vedic study is Brahmanasya Vijanitaha. The essence of the Vedic study is to realize the supreme person behind the study. Who is the person that we're trying to connect to? Krishna again, so he mentions it in chapter 2, and then he expands this, because chapter 2 is a summary, he expands it in text chapter, the famous verse in 15:15, when Krishna talks about Sarvasya Chaha Mridishani Vishto Mata Gyanam Aponam Cha, when he talks about remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. And then he says that the whole Vedic, that I'm the compiler of the Vedas, but I am the person behind it. Vedescha sarham aham eva vedyo, Vedanta krid vedavid eva chaham. I am that person. I am the person that you need to think about when you're thinking about the Vedic study. So when Krishna is talking about dharmyam, he's talking about connecting with him, the person. There's so much to the Vedas, there's so much to dharma, but what Krishna is discussing is connecting to him, the person. So this is what he means by dharma. I'm just quickly going through everything in the purport just to make sure it's all covered, so you can move on to the next text tomorrow. And then at the end of the purport, Srila Prabhupada starts talking about the other yogic practices and Mayavad philosophy. So when it comes to this Mayavad philosophy, I think it's very important as devotees to understand that even if someone is studying the Mayavad philosophy, or they're in a group where Mayavad philosophy is being promoted, we shouldn't be as we should be very careful in the way we treat them, because ultimately what we want to do is give them an opportunity to come closer to Krishna. And one thing that we have to really, I think, be very mindful of is that when someone is attending a religious group, they may or may not be aware of the philosophy so much. They might be part of a religious group for social reasons, cultural reasons, traditional reasons, family reasons. They might not even be aware of what their philosophy is. So rather than saying, oh, you're going to this Mayavad group, you guys are just losers, what the hell you're doing? Look, but Prabhupada says this, come to Krishna consciousness. They'll think that you're actually being very judgmental. So actually the nice thing to do for us is do what we've been discussing, is give them an experience of Krishna. And by giving them an experience of Krishna, what will happen? They will naturally give up the things that don't make sense. If they get their sense of community, that Prahlad was speaking about earlier, if they get their sense of community, friendship, social interaction within ISKCON, they won't need to get it from somewhere else if that's what they're into. But when it comes to philosophy, they'll never, if someone's into philosophy, they'll never find a higher philosophy than what Srila Prabhupada has given, because he's given everything. Everything is in Prabhupada's books. So this is how Prabhupada then ends the purport. Then he talks about the different types of yoga, but this is already addressed when you did chapter 8, because at the end of chapter 8, Krishna discussed Ashtanga yoga, and he said, look, to get perfection through Ashtanga yoga, you got to think, you got to concentrate between your eyebrows, you got to leave your body at a certain time of the day, the sun has to be here, the moon has to be here, all these things. But then Krishna then says, look, but for the devotee, these things are irrelevant. All you need to do is practice devotional service. So just to finish up, because I know we're getting to 5:40, so we can leave some time for questions, to just summarize what we discussed today. The biggest secret is our secret, our personal secret, our personal experiences of Krishna, our personal experience of Krishna consciousness, our personal experience of spiritual life. There's different, Prabhupada said that he's given us a back door to the spiritual world, because if we chant 16 rounds attentively and follow the 4 regulative principles, he's leaving the door for Golok Vrindavan open for us. So that's the secret. That's all we've got to do. And something else that's a big secret is we can follow the footsteps of Narada Muni, like it says in the purport, that we can serve the devotees. If we please a devotee, if the devotee is happy with us, if a devotee smiles at us, if a devotee thinks good of us, Krishna will reciprocate with us within our hearts. And to finish off, we were talking about Vedic study, how the purpose behind Vedic study is to know Krishna. So we don't need to make an extra endeavor reading every single Purana, every single Itihasa, every single scripture. No, we can read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is enough. Studying of these 3 main scriptures is enough. And when it comes to the philosophy of the Mayavad, yes, we understand that Bhakti Yoga is the highest process, but we are not yet the highest people. So yes, our process that we have been fortunate enough to come across, yes, we're fortunate that we've come across this high process, but remember, we are not that person yet who is practicing Bhakti Yoga at that very high level. And if we were, we would be very respectful to everyone. Amanina manadena, we would be respecting everyone, not expecting any respect in return. And Kirtaniya Sadahari, we would be able to chant the holy name 24 hours a day. That's how we'll know if we're making good advancement. So those were the things we discussed today. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Thank you for answering the questions I was asking during the session. We have about 15 minutes. If anyone would like to ask any questions. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. I'd like Mansi Ganga Mataji to say something. I think she has another appointment, so we need to release her. Mataji, over to you.
No, Kritika, I'm lucky that the guy hasn't come yet. Let me hear, please.
Okay.
I've done my speaking, now my time for hearing.
Okay.
How can you hear from me?
Thank
I've
you.
learned everything from you.
just bless us as we continue with the process. Yes, Prabhuji, thank you very much. And yesterday, the whole time we spent in, everybody were expressing their experiences. That's why we didn't do any reading, but we were just enjoying everybody's experiences. So thank you so much. As people are thinking of questions, maybe I can ask a question.
Sure.
So Prabhuji, I was just, when you were explaining about letting other people join into and letting them experience what you are experiencing, or they have a different experience, but just connecting them, as many people as possible. And I was just thinking of the gopis, and I was thinking of Radharani at that time and saying, usually women are very jealous people, and you have two of them with you. They don't want to share their things, or they don't want to share their father and husband with us. And we know that Radharani's mercy, we keep on asking for that. And we know that the gopis are such elevated souls. Obviously, if they have Krishna, why would they share Krishna with us? But they do connect us with Krishna. And I guess this is the reason, what you said, now that we know the secret, this is the reason why they are also very happy and enthusiastic in connecting us. I mean, maybe not the actual Ashta Sakhi, maybe the servant of the servant. We are the servant of the servant of the servants, but there is somebody there connecting us. And the reason why they are doing it is what you have just described. Hare Krishna. I'll leave the stage for the people. Yes, Kruti?
Okay, so I have a question, but it's not related. Okay, it's kind of related, but not related to today's topic. Is it fine?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, when we talk about unflinching faith, like we should have unflinching faith on Krishna. And so unflinching means without hesitation, like it should be very, very pure. But sometimes in our life, like when bad things happen, or yeah, of course, bad things will happen. We tend to be like, oh, why is Krishna doing this? Or is Krishna real? Because all the time you're being good and all this chanting and everything. So yeah, so my question is, how do you have this unflinching faith even when the times are not good?
Yeah, thank you for your question, Kruti. So how do we have unflinching faith when times are not good? See, for us, times are not good when we are experiencing challenge and experiencing difficulty. And when we're experiencing challenge and difficulty, we feel, why is this happening to me? This is not a nice situation. Why is this happening to me? Why me? How can he be Krishna? How can God, how can he be real? So think of it like this. I have two daughters. One of them is 7 years old. One of them is 4 years old. So the other day they wanted to have ice cream, chocolate ice cream. I said, no, you had ice cream yesterday. You can't have ice cream today. So when I said to them they couldn't have ice cream, I know our problems are very bad. We might be experiencing exams, relationship breakups, job problems. But for a child to not have ice cream, if you think of it relatively, it's as bad. Like, it's a big deal to them. So when they couldn't get their ice cream, they were saying so many things. Oh, this is not fair. This is not right. You're the worst papa ever. You're the worst papa ever. Can you? You still get.
I mean, they're 30 and 32, but I'm the worst mom.
You're still the worst. Yeah. So this is eternal Leela that carries on. So I was the worst. I'm the worst papa. How could you do this to me? You didn't give me ice cream. You're the worst. I don't like you. So then that happened. Now, am I being a bad father? Kruti, was I being a bad father by not giving them ice cream?
Not really.
No, not really. A little bit, yes, because they couldn't get their sense gratification. But in one sense, what was I doing? I was looking after their teeth. I was looking after their health. I wanted to make sure they don't get a cold. So I'm doing this with a loving intention. But what they're getting right now is a big challenge. They're getting a big challenge, but the purpose behind the big challenge, it has a loving intention. So similarly, when we're going through a difficult time, we know something about Krishna. In the last text of chapter 5, Krishna says, in the Gita, Krishna says, Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the well-wisher of all living entities. I am the well-wisher, which means that he is our greatest well-wisher, which means that Krishna only wants good for us. So him being Suridam, him being our best friend, him being our well-wisher, means that when we're going through this challenge or this difficult time, we cannot at that time see the loving intention behind what's happening. This is what we cannot see, because all we can see is the difficulty. Like my children, all they can see is they cannot have the ice cream. That's all they can see. They don't care about their teeth. They don't care about the getting a cold. They don't care about anything. All they're thinking is they cannot get the ice cream. So similarly, we're just thinking, why can't I get that boyfriend or girlfriend? Why can't I get that job? Why can't I pass that exam? Why did this person have to get sick? All these things we're thinking. But that's all we're seeing, the challenge right in front of us. But behind the challenge, Krishna is Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. He has got a loving intention. So then there's two things we can ask ourselves. One question, what does Krishna want me to learn from this situation? And the second thing we can ask ourselves is, how does Krishna want me to react? And if we do these two things, if we think about, and actually maybe we should write down these two things when the situation, what does Krishna want me to learn here? And the second thing, how would Krishna want me to react? And if we do these two things, we will get this pratyaksha vagamam dharmyam. We will get this direct perception of Krishna helping us. But the thing is, during these times of difficulty, this is our challenge. Will we turn to Krishna or will we turn away from Krishna? Why is there a challenge? Because Maya is here to test us. Because what happens when we start making some advancement, Maya comes to test us. Are we serious? Are we serious? And when we get that test, if we think about what would Krishna want me to do, what does Krishna want me to learn, then what will happen? We pass that test and we get another experience of Krishna, and then we'll advance some more, and then what will happen? Another test will come. So at the time, Kruti, it will feel difficult, it will feel hard, but just remember, Krishna, he loves us. He's not here to get us. He's not here to make our life miserable. He loves us so much, he's giving us what we need as our Suridam, as our well-wisher, so that we can grow. Just like I didn't give the ice cream so my children can grow better. So internally, Krishna is helping us grow through the challenges. Does that make sense, Kruti? Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Prahlad has a question.
Sure.
Prahlad?
Yes. I felt like this question needs to be addressed as fast as it can, because we are in this chapter whereby we're being told that it's a secret that no one can understand, even if you just tell it to someone right in front of their faces, they won't understand it. But what do you do when, let's say, you have a friend and you believe like he can also come onto this path of spirituality? How do you tell them quite literally in their face that I can give you a way in which you can get eternal happiness? How do you put it forward to them?
Okay, thank you for your question, Prahlad. Your question is, how do I help a friend get the experience of Krishna consciousness and make them realize that actually what we've got here is the best thing that could happen to them? That's your question?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Is it one particular friend you're thinking about, Prahlad, or you're thinking of it generally?
Generally.
Generally, okay. So if you're thinking generally, then what I would say the first thing to do is whoever this friend is, first think about this friend. What do they like doing generally in life? Okay, what do they like? So let's say I have a friend who likes doing IT. He likes doing work on, he's really good with computers. His biggest skill is with computers. So then what I would say to my friend is, you're my friend, can you help me with this service? So you get your friend to help you with the service, engaging your friend in the skills and the talents that he already has, in what he already likes doing. Not only that he has the talent, but he likes doing something. So if he likes doing this IT work, then you give him some IT service and you say, can you help me with this? I need to make a flyer for the ISKCON Eldoret Zoom, or I need to organize this spreadsheet, whatever. Then you give when you give him some service, and through that service, what will happen? He'll have to talk to different devotees. Oh, to speak to this devotee about how to do this bit of the service, and to speak to this other devotee how to do this other part of it. And then what will happen? He'll get devotee association. He'll be engaging his skills in Krishna service, and through this, slowly, you might be able to introduce a book to him, and you'll be able to. You have to also be dynamic. When we are preaching, when we are giving Krishna, we are being dynamic. It's not a one size fits all, you know. And Mansi Ganga Mataji is an expert at this. You see that different people will come to the temple, and in a different way she'll talk to them, and before you know it, they're jumping and dancing in the kirtan. So how do devotees do this? They do this because they are expert at seeing what is the nature of this person. What does this person like? How can I engage that in Krishna service? And by doing this, what will happen? They'll start getting their experience of seva, and then you leave it to Krishna. There's only so much you can do, and then you let Krishna do it. It's not, we can't do it. We're not sitting in their heart. Krishna's sitting in their heart. So we try our best in different ways to bring them to service, to hearing and chanting, and then let the Krishna magic work for them. And always be available for them. Be there, be available if they have any questions, if there's anything you can do. Ultimately, if we are kind and compassionate and loving, they will become attracted.
Yes, thank you.
Can I add?
Please.
It's not, you said I'm an expert. It's just like you kind of like people, and you were out there looking for something more, and in your heart, everyone is looking for it. You were not the only one who was looking. And like you said, today I went to Juja. We are trying to get a bigger place. And I was telling Benson, who's looking after, I said, Benson, they come, let them chop vegetables. Benson, tell them to come 20 minutes. If really my trick is, Amrita well, Draupadi, all I did, okay, pack agarbatti. The first day when Amrita was typing, I told Draupadi, she's finished now. A material life. The minute they do some service, then the material life diminishes. Not an expert, it's just a matter that if you feel that I was suffering and everyone out there is suffering, then you want to extend yourself. You feel, no, one soul has walked in, I'm not going to let them go somehow or the other. But if we are like you said, we can't be lazy. In preaching, we have to be in the forefront, just grab business people, right? grab them as you see them, So anyway, when Prahlad asked, and I thought you said it correctly, I'm not an expert, it's just that I like talking, and I'm using that propensity in Krishna's service. He couldn't have given me a better one. But you have to be outgoing to be able to get people to what attract to Krishna. I will.
Thank you.
I have to leave, but I can't leave. I can't tear myself from your class. And I'm just hoping and praying this guy takes more time. Anyway, Haribol.
Thank you, Mataji. Prahlad, it was okay? Make sense?
Yes. In fact, Mataji just added very well, because, that's how you feel like when you're in this process, you feel like, oh, if this works for me and it works for everyone, why can't like Why can't I help, grow the community even more, help other people in the process?
Brilliant. Thank you, Prahlad.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Mataji. In spite of saying, no, don't go to Juja, you couldn't stop yourself. Yeah, Corona is high in Kenya, so we don't want to be roaming around. But I like how do we connect people by giving them service, even if it means cutting vegetables, or please do this flyer for me, or please, I said, okay, teach me a recipe. I want to make prasad for Krishna. Help me with this. And Prahlad, you can do what I am currently doing. I approach just one new person every day to come and join this group. So just one person, and he can say no, and I'm reconnecting with lots of new old friends. And if they want, they can come in, and I will not stop. I'm like a leech. I will keep on.
Brilliant.
So if everybody can do that service, it doesn't have to they don't have to join this group, but any activity. That would be really nice. If there are no more questions, Prabhuji, I would like you to reflect on what I said about the gopis and Radharani connecting us to Krishna. Is it right? Are we thinking in the right direction?
So yeah, your question is, are the gopis and Radharani connecting us to Krishna?
Yes.
Yeah, so if we think about, and in Gaur Gunadesh Dipika, it tells us that actually these gopis, these manjaris, they've come here. Like Rupa Manjari came, and then that's Rupa Goswami. So, and they came here. What did they come here to do? They came here to give us the teachings of Krishna so that we can connect to Krishna. So actually the business of a devotee is to bring others to Krishna. That's the only business of a devotee. So, the topmost devotee is Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani, the mood of Srimati Radharani is given to us by Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya came here. He is non-different to Radha Krishna. He is Krishna in the mood of Radharani. And what did he do? He took sannyas at 24 years old and just went around preaching Krishna consciousness, giving everyone the holy name, connecting everyone to Krishna. So the example has been set by Srimati Radharani, and Lord Chaitanya came as Radha Krishna himself. Then what's happened after that? Srila Prabhupada, the head of ISKCON, the preeminent Shiksha Guru of our movement, what did he do at 70 years old? He left his nice little retired life in Vrindavan. We dream of ending our life what Prabhupada was doing. I'll go to Vrindavan. I just keep thinking, when my marriage is a bit more years, my kids are older, I just want to go to Vrindavan. But, what did Prabhupada do? He went to Vrindavan 6 years, and then he just went on the battlefield to give Krishna to others. So the business of a devotee is to always give. Like you said, Mansi Ganga Mataji is more than 70 now. I don't know your age exactly, Mataji, but coronavirus, no coronavirus, she's out there. You can't stop yourself giving Krishna when that taste is there. So this is what the advanced devotees are doing. They're connecting us to Krishna all the time. And it starts with, like you said, from Radharani. Like that.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. If there are no more questions or comments, we'll end this session.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Revealing the secret to us, and it was done so well. Thank you. So we've been struggling with this verse since 3 days. Not struggling, but enjoying the verse. We've enjoyed every discussion and you are the icing on the cake that we have been baking since the last 3 days. So
it sounds nice. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you.
Kritika, can I interrupt? Sure. Who's that tomorrow, Thursday?
Tomorrow is Raj Kishori Mataji. She's from London, Asia. Do you?
Okay. Otherwise, I was thinking, we sent Kanchanabja Prabhu the 9.3, right? And he did 9.2 today.
Yeah, I've already.
So I thought if he was.
I've already communicated with her.
Sorry?
I've communicated with her.
Yeah, I saw the message. Yeah. Oh, you're with her. Okay. So that's fine then.
Okay. But Saturday, if you have a speaker, we still don't have a speaker for Saturday. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
We'll
Krishna.
see you next Wednesday.
Yes, we'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, everyone. Vanchakalpatarubhishcha kripasindhuvekcha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Srila
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Kanchanabja Das ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Jai.
Hare Krishna.